Hey everybody, this video is called Further Inheritance, and today we're going to continue our pass-through study here in the book of Joshua, looking at chapter 17, where we're going to look at the land that's given to West Manasseh. So Joshua chapter 17, verse 1 and 2, starting out, it says, "There was also a lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph, namely for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilead, because he was a man of war. Therefore he was given Gilead and Bashan. And there was a lot for the rest of the children of Manasseh according to their families, for the children of Abiezer, the children of Helek, the children of Asriel, the children of Shechem, the children of Hepher, and the children of Shemida. These were the male children of Manasseh, the son of Joseph, according to their families." So verses 1 and 2, we're seeing the distribution of the land among the remaining families for the tribe of Manasseh. In verse 3 through 6, it says, "But Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, but only daughters. And these are the names of his daughters: Mahlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. And they came near before Eleazar the priest, before Joshua the son of Nun, and before the rulers, saying, The Lord commanded Moses to give us an inheritance among our brothers. Therefore, according to the commandment of the Lord, he gave them an inheritance among their father's brothers. 10 shares fell to Manasseh, besides the land of Gilead and Bashan, which were on the other side of the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh received an inheritance among his sons, and the rest of Manasseh's sons had the land of Gilead." So the other half of Manasseh, they receive its portion in a split inheritance of the west of the Jordan to the north and the east near the lake of Chinneroth, or Galilee. And Zelophehad, you might remember from Numbers chapter 27, he had no sons, he only had daughters. And his 5 daughters, they received the inheritance. And God led Moses to give this right to the woman back in Numbers chapter 27. And I challenge you, if you have not seen the study through Numbers, that you ask me for the link and I'll send it directly to you, or you can type in Numbers 27 and filter it by your friends, and you should be able to find it that way as well. In verse 7 through 13, it says, "And the territory of Manasseh was from Asher to Michmethath, that lies east of Shechem, and the border went along south to the inhabitants of En Tappuah. Manasseh had the land of Tappuah, but Tappuah on the border of Manasseh belonged to the children of Ephraim. And the border descended to the brook Kenah, southward to the brook. These cities of Ephraim are among the cities of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh was on the north side of the brook, and it ended at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was its border. Manasseh's territory was adjoining Asher on the north and Issachar on the east. And in Issachar and in Asher, Manasseh had Beth Shean and its towns, Ibalam and its towns, the inhabitants of Dor and its towns, the inhabitants of Endor and its towns, the inhabitants of Tanakh and its towns, and the inhabitants of Megiddo and its towns, 3 hilly regions. Yet the children of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities, but the Canaanites were determined to dwell in that land. And it happened, when the children of Israel grew strong, that they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but did not utterly drive them out." So the children of Manasseh's failure is after the same pattern of the tribe of Ephraim back in the last chapter, verse 10, as we looked at back on Monday. In verse 14 through 18, it says, "Then the children of Joseph spoke to Joshua, saying, Why have you given us only one lot and one share to inherit? since we are a great people, inasmuch as the Lord has blessed us until now. So Joshua answered them, if you are a great people, then go up to the forest country and clear a place for yourself there, in the land of the Perizzites and the giants and the mountains, or since the mountains of Ephraim are too confined for you. But the children of Joseph said, the mountain country is not enough for us, and all the Canaanites who dwelt in the land of the valley have chariots of iron, both those who are of Beth Shean and its towns, and those who are of the valley of Jezreel. And Joshua spoke to his house of Joseph, to Ephraim and Manasseh, saying, you are a great people and have great power. You should not have only one lot, but the mountain country shall be yours. Although it is wooded, you shall cut it down, and its farthest extent shall be yours. For you shall drive out the Canaanites, though they have iron chariots and are strong. So verse 14 through 18, the tribesmen of Manasseh, they complained that Joshua did not allot them land that was sufficient to their numbers, and that the Canaanites were too tough for them to drive out altogether. And he permitted them extra lands and forested hills that they could clear. And Joshua told them that they could drive out the Canaanites, for God had promised to be with them in victory against even the chariots, as stated back in Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1. And so that wraps up chapter 17 here. And we looked at the distribution of the land among the remaining families of the other half tribe of Manasseh. And we see the inheritance of Zelophehad's daughters. And we looked at the boundaries of the western half tribe of Manasseh and their incomplete occupation of that land. And we see in the chapter also that Joshua answered the complaint of the sons of Joseph, as the chapter ends right there. And that's going to wrap up this study for this video, and we'll see you next tomorrow as we're going to look at the inheritance of the remaining tribes. So I hope you have a great rest of your night. God bless. See you back tomorrow night.